wrapped up in my sleeping bag, looking out the window at Aaron's house as the sun is beginning to creep over the horizon. And the trees are silhouetted black against the emerging blue sky with the fading stars up in the sky. And I think to myself how much I hate Aaron because he's got it fucking made with this fantastic house of his, this nice little piece of property tucked away out in the backwoods of South Dakota. God, I fucking hate him. I hope he dies. I hope he dies of syphilis. You piece of shit.
I have not read the articles that just popped up. I'm like, oh. It reminded me of banking, where the a very short version of explaining why the housing bubble happened is you had a critical mass of ineptitude and stupidity. There's always your Pareto, 20% of the people doing the work, your producer parasite ratio, but no matter what organization, entity, political, banking, private sector, look at the video game industry. You, any system can only handle so much ineptitude and stupidity before it collapses. And there's little trouble in the Democrat Party paradise where they elected David Hogg, the limp-wristed pussy that embodies male Democrats everywhere. Like, what are you doing? How tone deaf are you to the rest of the world? And now, which fake tabloids news article did I want to read? Was it MSNBC, CBS, Yahoo News? You can't trust any of them. So I went with the New York Post because at least they admit they're tabloidy and they're the most direct in the reading I've read. DNC panel votes to void David Hogg's election as Democratic vice chair. The Democratic National Committee's credentials panel voted Monday to void activist David Hogg's election as vice chair of the party. Hogg, a survivor of the 2018 mass shooting at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, was elected vice chair in February, but has drawn criticism from some Democrats over his plans to spend $20 million to take down long-serving Democrat House lawmakers in primaries. And replace them with what? Like stuff that's good for the Democrat Party and more radical leftists. Oh, well. It's impossible to ignore the broader context of my work to reform the party, which loomed large over this vote, Hogg said in a statement after the vote, according to Political. The DNC has pledged to remove me, and this vote has provided an avenue to fast-track that effort, he added. I'm going to guess with this person, being younger and being a trust fund baby, and, I mean, really, your arms tell me everything. I'm being serious about that. The guy never worked. He just wanted to, and look, he stood on top of all the corpses over at the high school he went to going, I'm against guns. I mean, could you wait till the bodies are cold a little bit before we start capitalizing on them? I'm sorry, physiognomy 100%. If I had a daughter and this guy came suing her, the shotgun time. I would be like, get the fuck off my property. And I talk to my daughter, I say, where have I failed you? How did you think that was a good idea? I mean, I'm okay if I love you no matter what. If you're a homosexual, that's fine. If you want to date girls, that's fine. Just bring a better looking one in next time. So I'm going to guess he went radical socialist. I mean, the way he talks, I'm just going to assume it was, no, we're going hardcore Marxist. And then some of the Democrats, probably the same ones that were not electing Bernie, no matter how democratically he was elected in the Democrat Party with super delegates. I think the saner heads. I think those of you who are rich liberals also like, oh shit, he's going to take all of our money. It's impossible to ignore the broader context of my work to reform the party. Well, that's the other thing. You should reform to the right, and they elected you. So you're going to go more left, correct? I'm right about that, right? Said in a statement after the vote, according to Politico, the DNC has pledged to remove me, and this vote has provided an avenue to fast track that effort, he added. The committee, which found procedural violations occurred in the February election, also voted to oust Pennsylvania State Rep Malcolm Kenyatta as DNC vice chair. Well, what? Ain't Hogg the vice chair? Vice chair of the party. Malcolm Kenyatta as DNC vice chair. I'm confused. Are there two vice chairs? I want to see what this guy looks like. I do. I just want to see what Kenyatta looks like. He's another millennial, fat, overweight. Okay. Yeah, 34 years old. I guarantee you if I looked at him, he's got no job. He's never worked a day in his life. Hogg and Kenyatta, however, will remain at their posts until the full DNC votes on whether to approve the removals later this year. Christine Pelosi, a member of the Credentials Committee and daughter of dude, you Democrats are you're the fucking worst. You're all about democracy and the common man and the little people, and you're just a bunch of rich trust fund baby connected nepotistic nepo baby assholes. Christine Pelosi, a member of the Credentials Committee and daughter of former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, insisted that the vote to void Hogg's chair reelection had nothing to do with politics. Dude, you poor people keep voting for the Democrats. They are scamming you, man. They are scamming you. Oh my God. Oh. I remember when the Democrats were the working people's party and the Republicans were the trust fund party, and now they've switched. First, I want to say clearly and explicitly that this decision has nothing to do with the service of any DNC officer, especially Hogg or Kenyatta. This is about a violation of parliamentary procedure that was raised in a challenge filed back in February by another candidate or vice chair. After the panel rejected Pelosi's proposal to uphold the elections and make the changes to future procedures, the Credentials Committee voted on a resolution that recommends that the DNC complete the vice chair election and administer new ballots for the final two vice chair positions. Sounds like never go into politics. Pelosi noted that Hogg would be eligible to run an election redo, insisted that she hoped he decides to do so. I think I speak for all of us in the committee when I say I hope both of these talented individuals put their names on the ballot again. She said, we will move fast to get this resolved. I have total faith in our DNC members to review their issue and vote their conscience. Okay, so why was this vote invalidated, or what was their concern? DNC chairman Ken Martin, who reportedly circulated a pledge to call for DNC officers to stay neutral in the primaries, which Hogg refused to sign, said he was disappointed to learn that before I became chair, there was a procedural error in the What was the procedural error? Arguing that Dems have Friday, David Hogg, 25, rallied against Democratic Party during an appearance on Real Time with Bill Maher, arguing that the Dems have become too hostile towards men. Why'd they elect you then? No, seriously. Why did they? Don't tell me there's not a masculine Democrat out there. I know I pick on them in general, but there is a hardworking union Democrat guy out still, right? Might be 80 years old. What? See, and now we don't know why. It doesn't answer what I'm looking for. Do I got to go political? Who's getting my money? The move, okay, opens the door, removing National Post. Democrat National Committee panel on Monday recommended a new election for the post held by Vice Chair David Hogg, whose effort to challenge a sleep-at-the-wheel Democrats sparked a firestorm with the National Party. While the panel's move was based on procedural complaint unrelated to the broader controversy surrounding Hogg, the committee is giving DNC members another option to squeeze the vice chair after he promised to spend $20 million in Democrat primaries against incumbent House members in safe blue districts. Didn't he have a nonprofit that he basically channeled funds to? Been doing a Hogg's plan. Hogg and DNC chair Ken Martin have been dueling over Hogg's plans. All right, so the main guy and Hogg are disagreeing. Most recently, Martin said Hogg should either sign a neutrality pledge or step down from his post. We can't have people disagreeing now. I can't believe I'm defending David Hogg. Heard a complaint that the alleged body bungled its own rules when Hogg and Malcolm Kenyatta were elected as vice chairs in February. To move forward, a full national body would have to sign off on the resolution the committee approved. If it does, it'll call for a new. What was the flaw? See, at one time, this is why I'm the media now. At one time, journalists would have said, what was the flaw? What was the snafu? You don't say what the snafu was. David, you should go start. What you should do, I'm being serious about this. David should go start. I admit, okay, both parties are old, corrupt, could definitely use reform. Although I guess with Trump in there, there's more reform than not. Dave, why don't you start your own young person's Socialist Democrat Party? Start a whole new party. Look, the DNC, Democrat Party, they're old, they're corrupt, they're Nepo babies. You should start your own party, a splinter group away from the so then you could form it, and then you'd actually get your Bernie Sanders in there and everything else. I think that would be a very good thing for them to do. Kenyatta said he is pissed that this challenge was successful. Oh, what? You're going to have to get a real job? Go eat some more donuts, you fat pig. While also swiping at the media for Hogg for misrepresenting the panel credentials that they are remedying a procedural flaw. What was the flaw? Okay, the challenge was brought by Oklahoma DNC member Kaylin Free, who argued that the party violated its own rules and made it harder for a woman to be elected vice chair. I knew it. I knew there'd be some bullshit self-eating snake eating its own tail. Oh no, woman most affected, huh? Oh, fuck off. Oh, you guys deserve each other. This is great. This is why Democrats are miserable. I finally figured out. Chris Beckloff said the Democrat, leftist, socialist, whatever. That political philosophy ends with one person taking a femur and hitting a skull on a pile of skulls, and that is the last person alive, because these Democrats will do anything not to work for a living. And so I always wondered, when the Soviets won, or the Bolsheviks won, why was there all this killing between Stalin and rival groups and all that other stuff? And the reason why is like, okay, they're politically aligned, but the main reason they're politically aligned is because they're trying to avoid work. And if it's going to be Stalin working in the fields, or what's the guy he had murdered in Mexico City? That guy working in the field, Stalin going to kill that guy. They will do anything to avoid work and be queen bee or king bee of the shit pile. Oh, I love it when your own Frankenstein monsters attack you. So perpetually, Kaylin Free, if I look her up, am I going to see the physiognomy here too? Is she going to be look like the miserable liberal white woman with the tight lips and no makeup? Kaylin Free. Baby boomer, pissed off, post-menopause. Your typical liberal white. Oh my God. You guys are fucking clowns. You're fucking Muppets. You're just stereotypes now. Oh, God. You doth offended a Karen. Karens versus soy boys. Oh, what a fuck. This is great. Oh, made it harder for a woman to be elected vice chair. Her complaint was filed well before Hogg promised to challenge fellow Democrats. The committee voted 13-2 on Monday evening about more than 3 hours of discussion. The party's rules state that the DNC's governing body should achieve gender parity or get as close to it as possible. How's that going, Dave? Fuck, who's the best? Am I right? Oh, this is why you would never Guys, you never date a Democrat. You never marry. I'm sorry. You could date all the Democrats you want. You never form a serious relationship with a Democrat woman. It's always going to be victimhood analysis. It's through the eyes. If it was like 1952 and grandma voted for Truman, well, was it 52? Did I accidentally get that right? 1948, whatever. Right. Okay. We're talking JFK, Democrats. Okay. That was a little bit different. Today, if they're Democrats, all Democrats generally, it's all about how oppressed they are and feminine. There's no way. There's no way, because it's always going to be, well, you did less chores than I did. And I have a spreadsheet. Like, fuck this shit. Just fuck it, man. Oh, should achieve gender parity or get close to it as possible. Free argued, according to her initial complaint, which was shared with Politico, that Kenyatta and Hogg had access to more votes than Free and two other women running for the slot because the DNC's rules are not properly followed and made it impossible for any woman to win the race. You're 55, 60 lady, and you're still running for, really? I'd ask, don't you have grandkids? But probably not. Not ones that like you anyway. What a fucking nightmare. I have always known the Democrat Party is the party of free and fair elections. No, it isn't. It objectively isn't. If it was free and fair, Bernie would have got the nomination, but your party has super delegates, which negates the votes of the regular delegates or overrides it. You guys cheat in elections. Yes, you do. You cheat in elections. How about you? And you have it where the best person doesn't win. Boy, girl, black, white, doesn't matter. You have quotas. So that's the opposite of free elections. It's not fair at all. Today, the Credentials Committee of the DNC confirmed that correcting mistakes and process of protecting democracy is more important than saving face. Free said in a statement after the vote. No, it's just your affirmative action infighting, and you're not going to have the best. I can't believe I'm defending Hogg on this one. Him and Kenyatta probably won fair and square. Did he get the most votes? Well, there you go. Were you prevented from running? Could everyone vote? Was everyone on the same ballot at the same time? Free told Political her challenge was about fairness and added that her challenge had nothing to do with Hogg's group funding primary challenges. This other thing, 20 million, that's David's issue, he said. In a statement, Martin said he was disappointed to learn that before I became chair, there were a procedural error in February's vice chair elections. The Credentials Committee, well, at least they're sticking with the rules. I mean, hey, Dave, did the baby boomers prevent another millennial from success, huh? It's the classic baby boomer Darth Vader, millennial fucking Luke Skywalker, no, and Gen X Han Solo in the middle, like, you two go at it. Credentials the committee resolutely fairly. In a hearing on Monday, Free's lawyers called in Hofstra professor Daniel Siebold. You got lawyers on this? An expert in parliamentary procedure to give testimony on Free's behalf, and his expertise seemed to sway some members of the committee. I'm going to take the guy who wrote the book, said former Oklahoma Governor David Walter, as a committee member. The full DNC could opt to hold a virtual vote ahead of the meeting later this summer. Otherwise, it will take up the issue during its August meeting. Oh, thank you, Politico. Who should I thank for this? Andrew Howard. Thank you for actually doing journalistic work, Andrew, even though you work for a biased leftist Marxist piece of shit entity. Oh, my God. That's just great. That dude, every stereotype, I always wonder, like, am I being too harsh, labeling millennials and Gen X and Zoomers, and am I being too hard on the baby boomers? No. Oh, not every Democrat woman looks like a spinster shrew, pissed off liberal white woman who's barren. They don't all look like that. No, maybe they do. Not all the men in the Democrat Party are limp-wristed, well, or overfed Kenyatta guy. They're not soft and pudgy like the Stay Puft Marshmallow. Oh, wait, maybe they are. Oh, you fucking clowns. You work avoidant fucking clowns. Ass bucket, $2. Remember, Ken Martin is a typical Minnesota beta bish. Is Ken Martin? Who's Ken Martin? I saw it. Is he from Minnesota? Oh, there he is. DFL. Yep. Ken Martin. Yeah, no, he looks, yeah. That's your, yeah, this picture right here, that's your average Minnesota white man. It is correct and right that he got elected Minnesota. I think he represents Minnesota very accurately. Oh my God. Yeah. Wet Willie's Wet or Water, $2. Enjoyed the decline. Well, I am. It's fun watching them like go after each other. Jay Schartzer, $5, new guy. Live by the woke, DEI by the live by the woke, DEI by the woke. Now he's hogwash. I don't think he's going away. He has way too much connections. Like he just went from zero to hero way too quickly. And no one, like if the Democrat Party he's just bad optics. He's a weak soy boy. He's got the wrong look, right? If they were saner heads getting him out for that reason, I could totally see that because that's practical. It's no, because the woman doth be offended. So with such a visual, he's so bad optics, there had to be connections and money for him to get this far is what I'm saying. And then there was something going on with his nonprofit or his PAC or something getting fun. Okay, buddy, you're connected. I know who his parents are, but I guarantee we can look them up. They're connected. All right. So I don't think he's going anywhere. And he'll be a thorn in the Democrats' side. But that's why I think he should start his own. Look, he's not wrong. The Democrats are inept. So maybe he starts his own young Democrat party or whatever. Ass bucket, $2. Ken Martin went to high school in Eden Prairie. Oh, is he the Eden Prairie? Is he the wow. He's just such a good little boy. Well, hey, come on in. I wonder if he sent his daughter to McAllister or some other thing. And then they have the standard Minnesota tradition where not even after her freshman year. So what's the standard Minnesota tradition? Well, let me explain to you, non-Minnesota people, what the standard Minnesota tradition is. Your daughter, it has to be a daughter, comes back from the first semester of college, freshman year, right, for Thanksgiving. And what you do is the mom and the daughter go to Dillard's dildo store down at the Mall of America. This is all true. And they pick out a strap on for the daughter to fuck her father in the ass and berate him for his white male privilege. And then the Minnesota fathers take it on the Thanksgiving table and they apologize for being male and white and working to provide a home. And that is the tradition of Minnesota fathers every Thanksgiving. That happens every fall. And then the girl continues to go off to whatever liberal arts college it is and learn more about how bad her father was. And then the Minnesota men just take it. Now, you don't have to do it every Thanksgiving, but it's that first Thanksgiving freshman year. That's the first, you got to do it. You can do it afterwards. Depends on how committed to the cause you are, how much of a Minnesota man you really are. Oh, the EP. All right. That's it. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.